Hey guys, it's Britt and welcome back to my channel. It's Thursday, which means we were reviewing a whole food plant-based cookbook that we love. I own almost all of the cookbooks available out there, and so I thought it would be really fun to make Thursdays all about trying out our favorite recipes from cookbooks that I've vetted, and each month we're going to host a new cookbook. So we're going to continue on with How Not to Diet. It's a new cookbook that came out at the beginning of the year, and I just love this. It's so easy and simple. The recipes are really unique. You guys know I'm a huge Dr. Greger fan. I've lost, I think to date, 80 pounds following his Daily Dozen plan, so I am so loving this lifestyle, especially the way that he promotes it, and it's kind of a well-balanced whole food plant-based lifestyle or food choices to make. So I'm really pro Dr. Greger, and you guys know all of his awesome stuff on nutritionfacts.org. So the How Not to Diet cookbook, again, it's focusing on weight loss, which is really awesome for those of us that may be trying to lose weight at the beginning of the year. And all the recipes are very unique and simple, and I like them because they're creative and a little bit different than what I'm used to making. So for today's recipe video, we're going to be going over the roasted potato salad with basil pesto dressing. It's on page 60. If you guys don't have the cookbook yet, make sure you go and purchase it. You can get it on Kindle or hardback. You also can request it at your library. And so I won't be giving out exact measurements in these videos, but I will post the ingredients on the screen so you can get a good idea. But this is just such an awesome recipe for all times of the year. And so we're going to get started. I personally like to break this one up into 3 parts. We're going to bake or roast our potatoes. Then we're going to make the basil pesto and then kind of put it all together. But really easy. This makes 4 servings and has been a hit with our family. So to get started, you want to line your parchment paper, your baking sheet with parchment paper, and we're going to get our potatoes all nice and going. I found these really awesome little potatoes at my grocery store, and so there's purple ones, there's red potatoes and yellow potatoes, and this is great. But you can use, you know, Yukon Golds for the recipe, or I'm sure whichever potato that you have. All right, and we're going to start this off by tossing in some white wine vinegar and some spices. So I have onion powder, garlic powder, and black pepper. Like really simple. I'm just going to toss this and then set them in our baking sheet. Again, you want to make sure that's lined with parchment paper and it's ready to go. And then we're going to roast these in the oven and make our basil pesto. So already this recipe, you guys know, is super simple, which this channel is all about. Alright, give that a nice kind of toss through, mix all that vinegar, and make sure all the seasonings kind of get incorporated really well. I like this dish because it's nice and bright as well, so if you need like a little pick-me-up during winter, this is one I highly suggest. And it's like jam full of flavor. So if you're sick of your potatoes being boring, give this one a try. And I love that there's purple potatoes in this bunch. Alright, just go ahead and spread them out. I kind of space it out a little bit on my parchment paper. And I'm just going to pop this into our oven and bake until they're done, and then we'll make the pesto. And again, it's super easy. Alright. See you guys when they're finished. While the potatoes are cooking, we're going to make the basil pesto. It's at the back of the cookbook on page 215. And again, I will list all the ingredients on the screen now. But we are going to get started. So I really love this because it's easy and it's different than any other pesto recipe I've ever tried before. It has a combination of 2 nuts, and for the potatoes we're only going to use half of this mixture. So I'm just going to make it the way the cookbook does. It makes 2 cups total, but whenever I go to put it onto our potatoes, I'm only going to use half of it and save half of it for another day. So I have all of our basil. I also have some water, and you might need a little bit more water if you're going to do this in a blender. I've done it in the food processor like the cookbook says, and also in the blender. Either one works. If you have a Vitamix, you can soak your nuts, but I don't, because the Vitamix does a really good job, and again, if you add a little bit of extra water, it works perfect. So if you're in a pinch and don't have time for your cashews or walnuts to soak, if you have a Vitamix, it's great. In goes some crushed garlic. I have cashews. And again, we're not using all of this for today's recipe. It's going to make enough for a lot. I have some walnuts that are raw. Both are raw. I have some nutritional yeast. And then I have some white miso, and I have Dr. Greger's special spice blend. And again, you can help your blender out if you're doing it this way by adding in just a tiny bit of extra water so everything blends nice and smooth. And then I'm going to add it to a bowl. I'm only going to use half of it again. The rest of it I'll probably use for another dish in the next couple of days or so, but this also freezes really great. So if you have leftovers and you're making this specific recipe, freeze half of it, and then you can make it again someday, and it's really, really simple if you pull it out and it just needs to defrost. All right, let's blend this up. After the pesto is done, and you're going to want to lick the container because it is so good, go ahead and add it to a bowl, and then we're just going to wait for the potatoes to come out, and I'm going to prep everything else for the original recipe, but it's a really easy dish. And like I said, just freeze half of it, and then it makes next time you make this meal really, really simple. It's a beautiful green color. All right, let's put this all together. You can let your potatoes cool, and then I'm adding in our white balsamic. I have a garlic white balsamic that I never know what to use for, and this dish is just it. I also have some lemon juice. We're going to add in half of the basil if you need the recipe, or 1 cup. It is so delicious. I hope you guys had a chance to try it out. Don't let any of it go to waste. I also have some white beans. And then I love this because you're adding in a little bit of extra vegetables and give it a really nice crunch to this recipe. I have some shredded carrots, which I love. I also have some scallions. And scallions are one of those foods that I didn't eat a ton of before going plant-based, but now it has to be in everything. And then I also have some celery that I've diced. Lots of crunch. All right, and then what I like to do is I like to give this a nice toss. Really mix in all of those ingredients into your potatoes at the bottom. And we'll give it a taste test, and it is going to be so good. I used a bowl that is like overfilling, so make sure you use a large enough bowl. And this equals out to be 4 servings. Once you've mixed everything together, go ahead and give it a taste. It has like so much flavor. So much nice crunch. I really hope you guys will try this out. It is so good, unbelievably good, and relatively pretty easy. So again, it's on page 60 in the How Not to Diet Cookbook, which I really hope you guys will check out and purchase. Again, all of it is linked down below how to get it, and I really hope you guys will try it out. For the month of January, again, on Thursdays, we'll be reviewing a couple more of our favorite recipes from this cookbook, and then we'll be moving on to a different whole food plant-based cookbook for February. But I really hope you guys are enjoying these videos. I have a lot of fun making them and just telling you guys about some of our favorite things. So make sure you subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys real soon for the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.